I don't want to live a mediocre life. And I feel like for me, anything other than becoming world champion would be mediocre for my life, Just is just the path that I want to stay on.
What's up? This is Gardy with Clear Life Media, Clear Life Combat here in League City at the Clear Life HQ. I have a guest hanging out today. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We're going to find out everything that she has going on. Hey, how's it going?
It's good. So ready? I am Miranda Allen. I am a blue belt out of Gracie Barra Texas. I train under Professor Dracolino, Professor Lucas, and Professor Andres.
Yeah, so there's an event that's coming up, Elevate Submission Series. What's going on and when is it?
Yeah, so I will be competing September 22nd with Elevate, of course. Super exciting. It's going to be a no-gi match. My opponent, I've never fought her before. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen her in competition before. And Elevate was telling me this is going to be her first super fight. It's going to be super exciting. I'm excited. So, 2 weeks away now? I'm super excited. We've been doing a lot of really cool stuff. Yesterday, I was actually working with Professor Andresa and some no-gi stuff. Super basic things that just, make the biggest difference. I'm super excited to, be able to use it, because I competed this past weekend and I got, stuck in some positions that if I had just known this stuff, it would have made all the difference in the world, So I'm super excited.
All right. How long have you been training and why did you even start?
So I started training about five years ago. I originally started because my brothers had started training before me. I have 3 brothers, 2 in the Marine Corps, and 1 is a pastor. And I originally started because my dad wanted my sister and I to get involved with it. At the time, I was doing gymnastics because I was 11, so obviously, I'm an 11-year-old little girl. I wanted to do gymnastics. And then I started doing jiu-jitsu because eventually he wore me down and I tried the class. And I liked it so much more than I thought I was going to. It's a very close contact sport. And I thought that was something that was going to drive me crazy because I didn't like being close to people, especially when they're sweating. And I ended up loving it. And then 6 months after I started training, I did my first competition at white belt. And I love that even more, which is just, for me, is so surprising because I used to be such an introverted kid, I guess. And then I think jiu-jitsu has helped me become, you can ask my teammates. They always say, I never stopped talking, which is so weird for me because I never talked as a kid. And I think it's helped me become more extroverted just being in the environment that I am. And I think, that's kind of what helped me stay with jiu-jitsu and have such a strong passion for it was the fact that, the community I was around pushed me to be a better person. And that's the part that I loved most about it and why I stayed in jiu-jitsu.
Has it always been at Gracie Barra, Texas?
Yes. Yeah, I started there back in 2019 at the old location. And then we opened up our new location this year in January. And oh my gosh, it's been going really great. I'm loving it. Obviously, there's been some stuff that we needed to work on, business-wise and, the building. But everything has been, even better than we imagined, It's been great.
What would you say has been the biggest plus of being in the new space?
The showers.
The showers?
Showers. Every day, sometimes, I'm just there training and I forget and, I'll come to the realization of being oh my gosh, I'm at, one of the best training facilities ever. And, I, start feeling so grateful for it because, man, have you been there yet?
So I've seen video and we've shot video, but I haven't been yet. Yeah.
You need to come check it out. Because you went to the old gym, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be, mind blown. The upstairs is beautiful. We have the upstairs mat room, which is just so nice because sometimes in the morning, I'll train with my wrestling coach, Coach Jackson, and we'll do wrestling upstairs while there's stuff going on downstairs. And it's just so, much more beneficial to have all of that space. Our Muay Thai area is great. The Jiu-Jitsu area is great. The locker rooms. We have 2 men's locker rooms. We have one downstairs with all the showers and everything. Then we have a locker room upstairs for the guys. Great lounge area upstairs. We have a coffee machine. We have the, beautiful front desk downstairs. And then all of, our merch and stuff. It's beautiful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you ever do any of the Muay Thai classes or the striking?
So Professor Juliana, she has been getting on me, who is a UFC champion, and she's amazing in jiu-jitsu, black belt. before Worlds, she was kind of getting on to me about doing it, and I was like, okay, after Worlds, I'll start training Muay Thai a little bit. And then I've done like maybe 2 classes just because I like focusing more on jiu-jitsu, and I want to be, master at jiu-jitsu before like trying to become well-rounded, but I like doing a little bit of striking. I think it's fun.
So the last Elevate MMA event, there was a fighter that I believe he came out of GB Texas. I want to say his name was Johnny Garcia. Is that correct?
Yeah, I love training with Johnny.
So does he train jiu-jitsu as well?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Did you see the highlight or the finish that he had during that fight?
We actually trained not too long ago. It was a little bit after his fight, and I accidentally hit him in the face, and he's like, okay, well, we can put the gloves on if you want. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, that fight, the intensity, even the celebration, like the teammates and family and friends and the fans. Oh my goodness, that was probably, that event. And Elevate puts on some really good events. Chris, the promoter, works very hard. His social media handles make it happen, Chris. And I've seen him been put in a pinch before where things potentially fall apart on a fight or an event and things, and he makes it happen, which is what that's kind of the name. But oh my goodness, the events for Elevate are always really good. Yeah. And that was probably one of the highlights of that event. But that was a great event. So shout out to Johnny Garcia and that.
Yeah, definitely no surprise coming from Gracie Barra,
Yeah.
We have some amazing athletes there.
Yeah, that's fun. So we're gonna have to see you get some striking and some Muay Thai in here in the future, right?
Maybe. Professor Lucas says I can get my black belt world title and then I can start striking.
Hey, that's there you go. That's the goal. And I mean, even from Professor Lucas and his wife, Professor Andresa, like they are world champions. Yes. And then obviously Professor Jacquelino there as well. What's it like training and learning from these people?
Sometimes I forget like just how like amazing of jiu-jitsu athletes they are because I'm with them every single day. I like being around them and I like to follow their routine. So whatever they do, I try to like mimic, because obviously you want to be the best, do what the best are doing, and Professor Andresa, what is it? Is it 7?
Yeah, how many titles are losing
count?
Yeah,
I know, I'm losing count. So I think it's 5 in the gi, 2 in no gi, all consecutive. Literally the best female athlete in the world. And that's why I was saying like yesterday we're working on like simple stuff, because they're very like good at jiu-jitsu because they have such a strong foundation. If you watch their matches, it's not like they try to do all this flashy stuff, No, they do the basics because that's what works in jiu-jitsu, You don't have to do all the flying stuff. No, if you have a good foundation, like everything else will come from that, And that's something that they taught me, is to always have a strong foundation, have a strong fundamentals. Some days they'll have me go to the fundamentals side instead of the advanced because I feel like that's stuff that's important for me to, do, especially like I've been training for 5 years and some days, I still feel like I don't know anything, And so like I still always try to keep my foundation like strong and making sure that I'm working all the fundamentals before like I'm trying to do too much like advanced stuff, But yeah, especially like I've been at the past 2 worlds with Professor Andresa when she's won, and it's awesome watching Professor Lucas be there with her because you watch them train together, you watch him help her like in the training room, like all the weeks before when we're doing our like training camp for Worlds, and then to see her win, see how happy he is, they both worked so hard for that. And it's awesome, but especially Professor Jacquelino, he's been with them for a while too. So he's helped them so much and built them into the athletes that they are. And to see them, become who they are, like makes me like so hopeful for my future, to see how amazing they are and to be around them and to like train under them, like shows me that I'm on the right path to be just as good as they are, even better.
You mentioned Professor Lucas talking about when you get that black belt world title, then maybe you start with striking. Is that your goal or what is the goal for you?
Like long-term in jiu-jitsu? Yeah, for sure. Black belt world title, everything. I say I want to be Andresa, but I don't want to be Andresa. I want to be better than Andresa, which is hard because she's already doing so much, I work right now at the gym. I work in all the kids' classes, and while Professor Juliana's out, I actually work in the women's classes. So I, plan to keep working there, working with the kids, which is such an awesome job. I love it. And then, I want to be like best competitor there is, and that's it, like I don't really need anything else. I just want to know that like I'm the best, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I'm going to get there.
So I have kids, and sometimes it's hard for me to even teach them some of their homework or go over some things. How is that for you? I know jiu-jitsu is fun, and a lot of those kids, I mean, they want to be there, but even dealing with the parents or dealing with maybe some of the kids who don't listen quite as well. Well, how's that? Is it a struggle at times, or is it okay? Or how is it?
Yeah, it can get hard, especially with the new gym. Our class sizes have gotten much bigger because we have all the mat space. And I don't even think our youngest class is the hardest. I think it's our like second class, the 7 to 9 year old class, just because I think that one's our biggest class. I'm pretty sure. And it's just hard because there's so many kids, and especially ones that don't like to pay attention, and there's so many of those ones, and so it's hard to help all of them with the time that we give them to drill because if they paid attention, they'd have more time to drill. And it's frustrating because I'm like, man, like y'all don't seem like y'all want to get better, or especially my girls in like the juniors class, they're always talking, and I'm like, girl, talking is not going to get you out of that position, it drives me crazy. But at the end of the day, I know that some kids are just there because their parents tell them to. Some kids are just there because they want to have fun, and which I like, but also I'm like, man, the sport needs to have a lot of discipline, and I feel like a lot of these kids don't have it, and so it like gets on my nerves a little bit, but it's good. I like it.
Yeah, I feel like there could be some balance, like, hey, we're all gonna have fun, but we're also trying to learn, and this stuff's important, and it can help, instill a lot of things that you'll use forever,
Exactly.
Forever. Very cool. What about outside of jiu-jitsu? What do you have time for? Is there school? I guess, jiu-jitsu is work and fun and, career potentially going forward and everything, but what do you do outside of it?
Man, since school started, it's been a lot of just school. I have class every morning. Luckily, I'm blessed to not have to go to school all day long. So that helps, obviously have time for training during the day, which obviously takes up a lot of time. But man, I have a tight schedule, and I love that. I love being busy. I like that, every day I kind of have the same routine, but I switch it up. But let's go to school, go to training, go home, shower, cook, do homework, whatever, go to work, train again, and then even on the weekends now, we have, or Coach Jackson's doing a wrestling camp. So even on the weekends, like I'm at the gym all day long, so really jiu-jitsu is my life. I don't do too much outside of it. I lift weights. Like sometimes I'll hang out with some of my friends outside of jiu-jitsu. Obviously, most of my friends are in jiu-jitsu, so I see them most of the time at the gym. But I do have some outside of jiu-jitsu that I'll try to catch up with at some point. When I'm not like training for something. Like
Right.
If I'm having some free time, then I'll try to do something. I like shopping a lot, so I go shopping.
Do you like school?
I do. I like when I'm in it, and I'm so happy that I'm about to be done. Because obviously, I said earlier, I'm in my senior year. But I like doing it. I really like learning. I like being smart because I feel like, a lot of people, especially in jiu-jitsu, they're like, oh, I don't need school because I'm just going to do jiu-jitsu. What is this class going to help me for? But no, I feel like to be a productive member of society, you have to be like knowledgeable of stuff. You need to be smart. So I like school. I like knowing things. I like being educated, and it gives me something to do that's not jiu-jitsu.
The people that you do go to school with, do they know you train jiu-jitsu, or are you trying to get them to start, or what?
No, see, I kind of like keeping the world separate. So sometimes, obviously, most people know that I do jiu-jitsu because, like I said earlier, like it's my whole life, But I kind of just keep them separate.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite subject?
No.
No?
I kind of like all of them equally, dislike all of them equally, so.
Yeah, I gotcha. That's fun. So, like, I know you talked about, hey, the importance of getting that education. That's something that your parents or family have kind of pushed on you and was like, I know this is what you're doing and what you love to do and stuff, but this is important.
Yeah, for sure. And especially, I think it drives my mom a little bit crazy that after high school, I plan to just do jiu-jitsu, and I'm really excited for that to be like my only thing to focus on and for that to be my full-time job. Because, right now I feel like it's kind of half and half, half is jiu-jitsu, half is school. I need to like focus on both of them. So I'm excited, like, once I graduate to be able to just focus fully on jiu-jitsu. But my mom, she kind of is like wanting me to go to college, which is understandable because, that's more stable. And, that's what she did. She's a nurse, which is great. And she's super smart, super smart. So, and my sister's going to nursing school. So, I don't know. We'll see. I might end up back in college taking like some classes while in jiu-jitsu, maybe working towards some sort of degree. But for now, my plan is to just focus on jiu-jitsu.
If there was a path, or like even taking some classes, I think you said your brothers are in the military,
Yes.
And then your sister's in nursing and your mom's in nursing. Is that something that would potentially interest you even down the road?
Like nursing?
Nursing.
So for a little bit, it did. Because I was like, oh, well, hospitals creep me out to begin with. So no. But for a little bit, I thought about it. Because I was like, it's not the worst thing ever. Like it would be hard, but it would be good to do. But I don't think I could do it.
Right.
I don't think it's gross.
There's some people that I train with and they work in the medical field or nursing, and like I mean you would know the schedule's like 12 hours this that nights and days, but there is some off time potentially, and then I've even some travel nurses that will go and work somewhere else and they make I think more money, but then also it's like, oh, you get to go live on the East Coast or West Coast and then also like train out there and things. So that it seems like a cool thing. It could be, but.
Yeah, I know. And for me though, this is something Lucas told me a long time ago, and that will always stick with me, and he even brought it up the other day, is I don't want to live a mediocre life. And I feel like, for me, going to college and getting a degree would be mediocre. Anything other than becoming world champion would be mediocre for my life, For like my sister and my mom, their dream, be a nurse, have a family. That's their dream life. That's not mediocre for them. But for me, I feel like anything else other than jiu-jitsu would be mediocre. So I like jiu-jitsu is just the path that I want to stay on.
Awesome. And you have time. You're young. You've been training for a long time, and so that goal, it's very attainable.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. Awesome. If somebody hasn't seen you compete before, why should they watch you on September 22nd at LA Submission Series? What are you bringing?
That's an awesome question. So no gi has not always been my thing. I've very much been a gi player for most of my time training. Or gi, gi. I'm mixing up this in my head. And I've always been like a guard player. It's always been my thing. But as I was saying earlier, I've been training a lot of wrestling recently with Coach Jackson, who is a phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal jiu-jitsu athlete also. And I'm super excited. So this past weekend, I competed at Jiu-Jitsu World League. I got to do a little bit of wrestling, and I'm super excited to show some of it on the stage, because I feel like super fights, they're more high-paced, it's more of like putting on a show, and I'm super excited to do that. I think it's going to be awesome. They're going to be seeing things in competition that I've never done before, but I know that I'm like fully capable of doing, and I'm super excited.
So do you like the lights or like the pressure and feeling that comes from that competition?
Yeah, 100%. I've been doing super fights for quite a while now. I started, I think, when I was even a gray and white belt. And yeah, I like it a lot. I think it's fun, and I think it helps people recognize you more than like at a tournament, because there's like a bunch of matches going on at one time, but it's just you center stage, and honestly, it helps put a lot of pressure on you. It helps you like focus more, which sounds weird because you feel like you want to be focused because it's like very nerve-wracking, but you need to focus because you're like, oh my goodness, all these people are like just watching me, like I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. And also like preparation for that also, it's like kind of scary, but that's the part of competition I love the most. I love the adrenaline. That's like one of the main reasons I compete. A lot of people say that that's the part that they hate. Like they hate like the nervous feeling before the match. They just like winning. Like that's the part that they like. No, I love all of it. I love like that's the part that I miss when I say, oh, I miss competing. I miss that feeling of like right before I'm about to step on the mat. Yeah. Like feeling super nervous. Like that's the part that I like. So for super fights, that's like 10 times versus like any other like a regular tournament. So I like that part a lot.
After Elevate, is there other competitions or tournaments that you have your eyes on for the rest of this year?
Yeah, so October, I plan to do IBJJF Houston Open, and then Nogi Pan Ams at the beginning of November, and then Lord willing, I'm going to try to make it out to Nogi Worlds this year. 'Cause last year I wasn't able to make it to Nogi Worlds, which I was kind of bummed about, but hopefully we're going to make it happen this year. It's just, hard with school, like depending on when it is and when I get out of school, so.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
No, just want to thank my school, all of my professors, my family, thank God, of course, and I'm super excited.
Thank you so much for hanging out today.
Thank you.
This is Guardy with Clear Life Combat. Go follow Miranda on social media. Make sure you tune in. September 22nd, Elevate Submission Series. We're streaming it live on Clear Life Media. Y'all be blessed.